We are having a fantastic interview with Trey Scruggs. He has gone through a myriad of ordeals in his life that are heart-wrenching. They are great examples of what to do and what not to do. And it is fascinating to learn and be around people that are striving to be better. And apparently the cows want to hear what Trey has to say too, which is okay. But Trey, thanks for being with us today, man. You're really awesome, and I'm glad for you to be here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We did some talking last night, and we were discussing let me back up. One of the things and reasons why I asked you to participate and let me interview you today was because a lot of people are struggling with various types of addiction in their life, and you've experienced it yourself because we're trying to get over or fill some void or something and that's in our life. And just tell us the experience you had of getting, what caused you to go down a path of addiction, and how did you realize that you were addicted to something?
Okay, so, simply stating the facts, something we all go through every day. You deal with certain situations in your life. It almost feels natural for you to pick up something that's going to change the way you feel. Whether it's talking to somebody, or if it's an addiction, whether it's alcohol or whether it's drugs. So, going through things in life, you understand very quickly that, everybody else is going through it too, first of all. And secondly, it's okay to admit that the things you've been going through aren't necessarily something that's going to be with you the rest of your life. But, you're able to handle certain things, certain situations by filling that void, man, by just, basically taking what you know and thinking that you're okay with what's going on in your life. But in all actuality, you're doing nothing but damaging everything that you stand for, family members, and anybody else that's a part of your life. So it was easy for me to, after my father passed away, it was very easy for me to grab a hold of something and use it as an identity or as a crutch, is basically what it was. I know we all go through it in life. We've all go through those situations where, you feel like, things could be worse, but in all actuality, hitting that rock bottom is something that we all go through, and it's something I definitely went through. When you lose a family member, it's very easy for you to start that downward spiral, and that's exactly where I was going with this. And I'll have since 7 months sober on the 9th of December, something I'm very much looking forward to. Grateful for my sobriety, but you never know where you're going unless you know where you've been.
That's for sure. How did you know you needed to stop?
When I started missing out on things, when I started missing out on my kids' functions, when I started, finding myself incarcerated. Last Thanksgiving, I wasn't able to be with my family. You're able to see guards, you're able to see people, but you're never really able to have those conversations with the people that actually mean something to you. And for me to understand that, hey, the humility that you're gonna feel, first of all, the necessary changes that you gotta make, the commitment to change is something that's very valuable to me, and very valuable for the rest of my life.
How difficult is it to make that commitment? Because I don't, to try to relate to that, I think everybody is addicted to something.
Right.
We're certainly all addicted to our egos. And so for a long time, I was addicted to pain, and I didn't want to get over my emotional pain. I had quite a few good friends tell me, you got to go on with your life. And that would piss me off.
Right.
It's like, you don't tell me what I need to do. I enjoy my pain. Go screw yourself.
Sure.
And I think that's really, is that similar to how an alcoholic and somebody addicted to drugs feels too before you hit bottom?
Well, I would have to say yes to that. Each and all, every one of us have that certain something that's making us feel a certain way. And it's very easily to stay in that comfort zone, stay down that, path when all of us veer right or left.
Right.
It's easy to do. We all have done it. And with addiction for me, honestly, I never really liked the things I was doing. I would disassociate myself from people. You feel vulnerable, the humility that you feel, like I was saying.
You feel vulnerable while you're using?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because you would tell me why that is.
Well, first of all, I know it's something I shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
When you get around those certain people and it's the secret that you have, it's obviously not something you want to just shout out to anybody and everybody.
Right.
Because you know it's wrong. Secondly, it's going to hurt somebody.
Right.
And eventually, it's a full-blown conclusion that each and everybody that's part of your life is hurt, not only yourself.
Yeah. So was it hard to actually stop?
Well, about my third time, yeah,
Yeah.
it was. But when I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I got tired of making the same old excuses, that insanity that I was living day to day, doing the same things over and over and keep getting the same results.
Yeah.
Until you're able to have that commitment to change, till you're wanting to be better, be a better father, a better person, a better human being in general. It's never going to change. You're not going to want to do anything unless you have.
It's pretty easy to say, I want to be a better person. I want to do something. And then we just think about it a little bit. And then we go on with our same exact routines primarily.
Yep.
And don't make any effort to learn new things, be introduced to new ideas. I think I mentioned this recently in another podcast where if you want financial freedom, then you need to study about financial freedom. If you want to be free of addiction, you need to study and practice how to do that and work on it all the time.
Absolutely.
If you want to have better relationships, then you have to be open and vulnerable and make the effort to have relationships. I think of Andrew, and Andrew's a big inspiration for me because he is a great role model in showing others how to create and maintain friendships.
Yep.
And to be of service to others. And so, and all of that ties in basically to the same thing. So if you want change, you have to actively practice the art of change. Like you have to be acutely aware of yourself, of your thoughts. If I want to not drink and then I say, well, I sure am feeling this urge to drink, well, then I can focus my thoughts onto something else. I can occupy my time. I can call a friend, say, man, I'm having this big urge to have a drink. Yeah, you want to come pick me up and let's go do something? Left to my own devices, I'm going to have another drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's easy to do.
Yeah, so it'd be really, but it's just as easy if your ego would not stop you from picking up the phone or going to see a friend. Like, man, I know I'm fixing to get hammered, and I know I don't want to get hammered, so I probably should just go see my buddy.
Yeah.
Because I know if I'm with my buddy, we're not having a drink. Yeah, no, I think it's the same way if you want, in everything, in every goal of your life, if you want that certain thing, well, then you have to focus on that certain thing. Absolutely. I want to be alcohol and drug free. Well, then I need to focus on when those thoughts enter my head to change and alter those mental patterns. Yeah. If I want to have food security, friend security, financial security, well, I need to slice out time in my schedules that I make an appointment with myself to actually focus on how to do those things.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think journaling is so important, because you mentioned to me last night that you write in a journal.
I do.
And how important is that to you, and what do you typically write about, and how does it help you?
Any given day, when things pop up in my head, when I feel like, me personally, I can achieve something better. I like to see stuff wrote down on paper. That way I can always remember what I want, first of all, and second of all, that it is attainable. Me personally, if I see it, I know it's in front of me. Thoughts go through our heads from day to day.
Nonstop.
And so it's a constant reminder to me that, first of all, that's the one thing I want to do. And it's not everything. It's a day-to-day process. First of all, I take 1 or 2, 3 things, and I make sure that I do what I have to do to be a better person, to eventually obtain the things that I want in life. So first and foremost, I got to try to be a better me, like we were talking about last night. If you can't look in that mirror and be able to know that that person that I'm staring at in front of me is going to be something that I can always look back and know that I'm being honest with myself.
It's tough to do.
It is tough to do.
Most people don't ever want to look at themselves.
They don't. And so I don't care what you go through in life. If you're able to focus on the present and able to comprehend everything that's going on, I feel like you're able to achieve those goals that you want to achieve, regardless who it is. I don't care what you're going through in life. Being able to focus on you at the time, because until you're able to handle what you got going on, I don't see how you could help anybody else. And that's the one thing I love to do more than anything is be there for others, give my support. But one thing, if you're unable to obtain the things that you're wanting to get across, and you don't know what the hell you're even talking about,
right?
Nobody's going to actually be paying much attention.
I've become, over the past 3 or 4 months, creating friendships with people that are in your similar circumstance. And one thing that I have noticed amongst, I would say almost everyone, is that they give some type of credit to a higher power.
Absolutely.
And I personally believe that higher power is very different for every single person on the planet.
Yes, it is.
It's we all receive information and energies differently. I receive it differently than every one of y'all. Y'all receive it individually, however you do. And I know for me, I was able to break my addiction to being depressed by meditating and asking the infinite energies of the universe to help me get over that.
Right.
And it worked. And some people would say that, I was just hypnotizing and brainwashing myself to believe that. Well, if that's the case, that's fine. But I particularly don't subscribe to that idea. Right. It was something very powerful for me. And so I started to make that a daily practice when I wake up in the morning to meditate and set my intentions. It doesn't take long, 5, 10 minutes, sometimes 15. And I just go over what I want to do in the day. Like, hey, I don't want to feel that pain. Whenever it comes into my mind, hey, acknowledge it, say thanks.
Right.
I appreciate you testing me again today. And
that's every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every single morning. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to treat others the way I want to be treated. And I'm going to do my best not to be an asshole. And luckily, I got really good friends around me that will catch me when they know I'm uptight, especially my buddy Ricky over here, who's done it quite a few times lately. I mean, he did it last week, and it was just brilliant. Man, I was just really pissed off last week at a couple of these people. And that old, very comfortable, is probably the same way as some of y'all taking a drink and you just feel that, this is my first drink of the day, boy, isn't this nice? And you got that calm go over you for a little bit.
Right.
That's what it was for me when I started feeling angry. I was like, oh yeah, I like this feeling. Hey, welcome back, baby. Let's get this party started. And Ricky said, I don't think that's how you want to act today, is it? There's something to that effect. And I was like, all right, good point, Ricky. I love you. Thanks. And then he said something, don't be an asshole. I was like, all right, thanks, Ricky. I appreciate that. And then when I saw him later, he said something basically like, the times that I would go hug Ricky when he was in a bad mood, and I knew it pissed him off. Like, he didn't want me to hug him. I just knew it bothered the crap out of him. So I'd grab him and hug him. And I was like, it's all right. And I could tell, like, every fiber in his being was like, I can't stand you hugging me right now. And he'll come and do the same thing to me now when I'm not particularly wanting to hug. He'll say, come on over here and hug me. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad I hugged you now. And I think in getting over our addictions, it's very powerful to not only be connected to the energies of the universe, but to have very strong relationships with trusted people that you're safe with, you can be vulnerable with, you can cry with, you can laugh with, you can sleep while you're watching documentaries with and know you're totally safe and secure. You know, it was something that Bonnie said last night. I said, Bonnie, you fell asleep twice in the same, but you wanted to catch different parts of the movie and you still fell asleep.
Yeah, she was a little too comfortable.
And the first thing she said was, well, I feel comfortable and safe. And that really hit me in a positive way, because that is the whole reason why we gather here, is to create these deep bonds with each other that we can feel, hey, if I want to go to sleep right here in front of all y'all, well, I know I'm perfectly fine and safe. If I fall out of the chair, I know one of y'all will probably put a pillow under my head, you know, or maybe kick me and tell me to get up, you know. But I know I'm safe with trusted friends, and and to get over addictions and to get over pain,
you need those people in your life.
You need them.
The ones you can count on, the ones that aren't afraid to tell you exactly the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah,
You know,
and I think don't you think in your experience, or tell me if it is, I think it's manly to have that vulnerability.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I always told when I was a kid, you just better shut up and get on with it. And I think there's some truth to that. You don't want to be a whiny baby. Oh, God, I'm so hurting today. You know what I mean? All that kind of crap. But at the same time, you want to be able to have good friends you can confide in and get whatever's bothering you off your chest, and they can give you some honest, good criticism.
Yeah, you really know that you have some good people around you whenever you're able to make an irresponsible decision. And you know they're right there to say, hold up, maybe you should have thought about that, and not going along with what you're doing. So that's where that vulnerability comes into play. You got to have those people, places, and things that hold you accountable. But getting away from the things that got you into that deep, dark hole that we all find ourselves in from day to day. But having that conscious contact with the one above, the one I choose to call God, having that spiritual contact is a must. And I thank God every night for the blessings He gives me.
For sure.
I thank Him most definitely for all He does and everything that He is.
Gratitude's
like I
powerful.
said, just to make me be a better man tomorrow than I was today.
Yeah, and I think we're trying to, well, the world is trying to redefine what it is to be a man and masculine, and I think it is very manly and masculine to be vulnerable with your friends. I think it is very masculine to give your friends a good, meaningful hug. Like, I think that is a manly thing to do. I think it's unmanly and unmasculine to be a pompous ass. And, oh, I'm tougher than you, oh, blah, 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 blah. Or, you know, I don't need to talk about my feelings. I'm big, tough. I'm Trey. I don't need to tell you shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, that's how we keep running in these cycles of ignorance. And because somebody else may tell you with good intentions, hey, maybe you should consider this way of perceiving this thing to help you get over that.
Sure.
And were there times in your life when somebody would give you a suggestion and you just instantly go, F you?
I think when I was younger, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, when you're still trying to find yourself, you're still trying to locate that inner person that knows that you can be better. But I think all of us deal with that in our own certain ways.
Right.
You know, I think some negatives you can make into be a positive.
Yeah, almost all of them.
Absolutely. And so, you know, reiterating on what you just said, you have to have those certain people that hold you accountable. Not only yourself, but those certain few that you know you can count on, that you know you can depend on, and you know that you can rely on to give you what you need.
And being manly, like respecting somebody's time. Some people might call it a pet peeve, but I call it being manly. If I tell you I'm going to be there at a specific time, by damn, I'm going to be there. And if I'm not, I'm going to let you know, hey, I'm just letting you know this train is right here, and I'll send you a damn picture of this train just so you know I ain't lying. Well, you're going to know I'm not lying anyway because I'm telling you. But being respectful of others, being the best you can. I mean, I think it's important, especially for men, to joke and prod each other,
Sure.
but from a place of good intention, not from a place I want to put you down. Like I see these two guys, Aaron and Randall. They'll go at each other. They've been here all weekend. We've been having a big fun time out here all weekend, and they're just bantering back and forth, cracking jokes, and kind of putting each other down, but in such a playful way. They know they're playing, and they're just having a good, honest, fun time with each other without trying to really hurt the other one's feelings.
It happens all day. Every
And
day.
see that's for a lot of guys, that's a form of like affection. Jackson told me, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, he goes, "I won't trust anybody that's nice to me all the time," and I started laughing because I think there's a lot of truth to that. I like it when Andrew pops off with something smart ass to me, or when Noah does back there, and Ricky does it all the time. But that's when it's not fake, because we're not always going to be just, we're not all angels, and we need to mess with each other because it's fun, and as long as we're not trying to hurt the other one. Like when Noah used to come in late all the time. I'm coming from a good place of intention, but he still needs to be prodded in a positive way. Like, hey, why are you coming in late? And but the same with me though. I love it when people mess with me. Yeah, because we'd go to the dojo.
It wouldn't be entertaining if it wasn't like that.
Yeah, life would be so boring.
Yeah, it's very.
Yeah, it would be absolutely boring. And I'm just real grateful. And I think we should add this into our conversation in getting over addiction, is that every moment where we find ourselves in a little struggle is just step back for a second. And me and Dean discussed this last night of just taking a couple of deep breaths. Whenever you take those couple of deep breaths, me and Ricky do it together all the time. It clears your mind. You cannot think of anything when you're consciously aware of your breathing. So if you just breathe a few breaths, focus on your breathing, all of a sudden your mind gets clear for a few minutes. And you can realize, oh, okay, I was letting my anxiety get the best of me. Oh God, I really want that drink. Let me just take some deep breaths and make the decision on who I'm going to call to be around.
Sure.
Whenever we can start to become so acutely aware of our thoughts and our actions and what we're about to do, just to say, okay, hold on. Who are out of my selection of friends can I call in this particular situation I know they're going to give me good advice, they're going to be there for me, and they're going to come from a place of love and compassion because I know they love me. I think that is extraordinarily valuable, and I think that we're all very lucky that we have that here in our life and what we're doing.
Right.
And I see that and Andrew doing that just nonstop. And sometimes I feel lazy compared to Andrew because he's just such a beautiful human being and giving and helping all the time. I was like, man, if I helped everybody as much as Andrew, I'd be exhausted and I'd probably weigh like 95 pounds. I was like, man, I don't know if I can do that. I might have to tell a few of y'all to F off if I did as much as Andrew does.
I feel like that's why it helps, to taking some time out each day to be able to meditate, consciously doing it every day. Eventually, unconsciously, it'll be something that happens naturally. And being able to do that, man, you clear your mind, you recharge yourself, and you're able to handle certain situations and adapt to them.
Well, I just want to wrap this up by saying I get a lot out of these kind of talks, and I've had these a lot lately. So I hope everybody at home picked up at least 1 or 2 or 3 nuggets that you can use in your own life from taking a step back, picking up a phone to call one of your trusted friends, take inventory of yourself in a journal.
Absolutely.
And finding that higher power for yourself and really develop a relationship with the infinite energies that are all around us. And Trey, you're the man. I'm really honored to get to know you and become your friend.
Thanks, Kevin.
And I really love it a lot. And I love all you guys. And if y'all are in the local area, we are here every Sunday, 1:15. Not Noah's 1:15. We're here at 1:15. So thank y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.